of Mystic News and Views. I'm Lorraine, and my co-host. I'm here with my co-host, Maven. I knew I was going to mess that up again.
Hello, everybody. It's nice to be back. Welcome to our fourth episode.
Episode 4, yes.
Episode 4.
Hopefully
Look at
everybody
us go.
can hear us.
And I wanted to say that special shout out to Deb Bowen last week. She did a really good show. That was lots of fun to watch.
Yes, that was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. I had some.
Even though I've taken a class with her, I'm still always learning.
Yes, always.
Yes, always.
We should always listen to those who have wisdom to share, like Deb does.
Yes, absolutely.
So tonight we're going to start off with a blessing. We try to start this show this way. We feel like it as part of this is about our spirituality for sure. We want to take tonight, and we are talking about protective things. So we have a black candle this evening, and black is the most protective of all colors. So when you are all scared by witches who wear black, don't be scared. Don't be scared. That's just to protect themselves.
Absolutely.
Well, that's what it was originally for. They just like a lot of eyeliner and stuff now. So there's a lot going on in the world. Without bringing up any stressful things, we're just going to say that tonight we're lighting this candle for those who are ill, those who lost their way, and for those who are trying to cope with a modern pandemic world. So
we don't really want to.
No, we're just going
to.
So we're not going to live in fear, folks. We're going to live in strength. So for whatever or whoever or however you believe in that's all that's holy. We light this candle in the names of all who could use it. So mote it be. So if you're someone out there with a specific need, feel free to add your need to the list and talk to us about, things going on. And we're going to try not to set ourselves on fire with this tonight. Not that we ever have.
No.
Others have.
Megan.
But
she's got that long hair.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And
because neither one of us do.
Oh, no, we've never done anything like that. No.
So earlier in the show, you saw a split screen. I think you can see.
Nope, they can't see.
Well, they can see the candle and stuff here.
Yes.
So we're going to show you some cool tricks. We've got some stuff to work. We even came on with the mics that worked. We had sound.
Sound. And look at this. We figured this out. So we now have 2 cameras. And so you can see a little image in your bottom right, and we're gonna do a little bit of swapping. So it's gonna be fun. We're gonna try something.
We're very proud.
Different.
We're proud. We're happy.
Yes.
So, the goal is with the metaphysical shows to talk about metaphysical things, and we try to bring you topics of the things we hear from people a lot and what's big in the news. And right now, there's hardly anything as hot as the evil eye emblem. And there's a lot of backstory to that. So we thought we'd share some information about the evil eye and similar things that are used and have been used by generations of people across the world. And now, again, there has been a resurgence. So we'll let you. Where do you want to begin, my dear?
Let's start with. So I'm going to switch screens here.
So this is a favorite piece of mine because it's mine. See this in a variety of ways. Sometimes you see it in the shape of an eye. Sometimes you see it in hands. So we also have a Fatima, or as Lorraine calls it, sometimes
Hamsa. That's another name for it.
And
it's a hand of Fatima and Hamsa. It's basically the same thing. I don't remember
that Fatima
it just depends on where in the world.
Fatima was the daughter of Muhammad. And this was supposed to be a part of her, that it was part of her protection. So you will find the evil eye as a magical talisman shows up in several Middle Eastern countries.
Last volume when we switched. Last volume when we switched to cameras. Oops. Okay. How's that? Okay.
Hold on, because we got the camera.
Oh, I know. No, it's because I had the mute off of the one camera. So when it was okay. Yep. Still learning. Still
learning. Can they hear us?
So I don't. They probably did not hear any of that conversation when before. Okay. So
all right. So we're gonna play catch up really quick.
Yes.
So can they hear us now? Can we get a like or something?
Yes.
If you can hear us?
Walter
Hi,
says.
Angie. Okay. So here is the basic shape of the evil eye that you see. It quite often looks like an eye. I will show you here. If you look at the small, see the evil eye shape up there? That's quite often how you see it too. You will see it in micro pieces of jewelry now. People are wearing tiny eyes. You'll see them. I had a client the other day came in with the most gorgeous ring that was all rhinestones and lovely. I have Trisha, lady who does helps me out with my ads, so they're so pretty. She wears one that's gorgeous. And so these are used, they represent, there was a time when people believed, and still do, that you could look at someone and throw an evil eye on them. And you see this across a lot of traditions that you kind of hear this topic like, oh, they stole my luck from me. They gave me a dirty look.
Yeah.
And so while we're not encouraging you to believe that people can look at you and cause you harm, people still follow the traditions that having an item like this helps ward off that. So something else you might not have heard is that blue is the color most likely believed blue eyes can turn it back. So that's why it's there. So we also have, so since we're talking about Fatima, and you might have not heard me say that Fatima was Muhammad's daughter's name. And so that's why it's called that. So we have boxes that you could put items in to protect them.
And move it down just a
little bit.
Yep.
We have boxes that are Fatima's too. So the way you use this is if you want to block anyone's ill intent. To me, I would much rather put something up that's going to block it or have me reassured to think that any evil that might come my way, I could turn away.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of someone building up the energy to, you do your will. I'm just saying I don't hex. But because you should not send energy out. If you build all this energy and send it in a negative way, I don't find that positive. Are you afraid I'm going to burn myself?
Yes.
Okay.
Your hands keep on getting in the way of it.
Yeah, I've been burning candles a long time.
I know, you're still making me nervous.
Okay. So that's why we use these things, that we are in our own mind setting intent when we use something that makes us feel safe. So we also, do you want to talk about that for a minute?
So we have the evil eye candle, and this creates that same energy. It's just instead of the talisman, it creates more of an energy form. So you're burning that, so you're just creating that intention to go along with it.
And what's really nice about this line of candles is this Coventry.
Yes, that's Coventry.
I thought it was Coventry because Coventry, as we learned from an earlier episode with Lorraine did with the owner, Jean?
Yes, Jackie.
Jackie sets intentions with every one of her candles, and she was the first candle company that had intentional candles in the country. She's the originator.
The OG.
She is. So at the back of it, it also has juniper and rose in it. So that adds to our knowledge that juniper and rose both are protected.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I'm going to read the back to you, if you don't mind.
Yes, because I don't have my glasses.
Okay. With strength of will, I weave this spell through sight, sound, touch, and smell. Earth, water, air, and fire, a web of protection. This magic does sire. By the Lady and the Lord, I cast this impenetrable ward. Well, I have my glasses on. That's a hard word. Impenetrable ward, meaning that nothing can come in. When this is burning in your house, this casts an energy field out around you that with the premise that anyone that has any ill will, harm, or intent, maybe it's other forces, maybe it's elements, whatever it is, maybe it's a bad storm, but that you are protecting yourself. So we also have a lovely product that I did not know we had. So
Oh, you didn't know that?
I didn't know, so
Yes.
now I do. I'm going to start using this. I like to put these kind of things in my spell pots that I burn at this shop when I'm doing readings. Every person comes in with a different energy. Everyone comes in and talks about different things. And when I make the spell pots, and I do use, like we just mentioned, juniper and rose, I always use rose and I often use juniper, that I can add this to it. And now I know I can add a protective energy. Nice. Protect us all from, Max and people. Wicked, wicked fun little Max. So this is an evil eye oil. We need to remove our glasses now. Those are mature eyes. Look at them. Those are mature eyes.
I'm not even going to.
It is also Coventry. And
I lost my glasses.
You lost your glasses.
Know where they are.
So you just use it like you would any oil. It doesn't have any actually writing on it. So we really like Coventry products.
It's the same. It's the same ingredients.
So
thank you, honey.
So what's nice about these oils, just for a thing for you down the road, her glasses appeared. Is that not hot, sexy magic?
These are missing.
They're hot, sexy magic. They just showed up. So the nice way to use oil, hot and sexy. That's right. That's Michael Anacone in the back, ladies and gentlemen. So he's the hot and sexy rock daddy, rock father,
rock father. Not the
I'm
rock
never
daddy.
going to say rock daddy every time.
So he is the rock father of all of the staff.
Yes, he is. He's the rock father.
He knows who everybody's favorite rocks, and he takes care of his people.
He does. So when you have evil eye oil, some of the things you can do. If this was me, this is one of the sneaky snake, old witch, long in the tooth kind of ideologies here. But outside on your light bulb, outside at your front door, a bit of this on your finger before you turn the light bulb on at night. Let's say you're afraid of stuff, and rub it around the light bulb and it'll lift it up. Yeah. If you have a gazing ball out in your yard in the sunlight sometime, and you go out and you're going to sit down and do something, you want to protect yourself, you can rub oil on your gazing balls.
You can even anoint the, not the threshold. The threshold's the bottom. What's the top called? Just above your door.
Yeah, the part above your door, whatever you call that.
Above your door, whatever that's called. Do you know what that's called?
Not a threshold. That's the
threshold is the step over. What's the top?
The door jamb.
Not a transom, just the top of the door jamb. Whatever that is. Just
anoint you can anoint your door.
Your door frame.
And so
but I have only one mic. That was a while ago. I saw that pop up.
So we see everybody out there.
If we're still getting an echo, please let us know. But yeah, I saw that pop up, but that was a couple of minutes ago.
So these kind of products are really helpful in a lot of ways. I think that the oil, you could even, especially since I think it's just juniper and rose, you ought to be able to, a dot on your wrist. I also think in a car, you could put this on a little piece of foam and stick it in your little flaps for your air conditioner, your vents, and that would also help spread that oil.
And then you can also do a spell pot with it.
You can do a spell pot.
You're not even have to be a spell pot. Those little oil burners, and just put a little bit of another type of oil or even some water, and put some drops of that in there.
But and to follow a little more New Orleans-y type of ideology, you might put a drop of both of these on each of your shoes. Tops of your toes and the heels, so wherever you go, you're protected.
See, I had, when my youngest was in dance competitions, I actually, for her very first competition, I bought evil eye buttons, and I had them sewn strategic places on her costume.
That's fancy. Yeah. I like that. That's fancy.
It kind of fit in there, so it wasn't, it was pretty, she had like wild colors that kind of fit. And it just little subtle buttons, and it just really helped.
So do any of you use Evil Eye, and do you have one? Are you wearing one? How do you do it? I have currently lapis lazuli because I love it, but I have an evil. Yeah, let me show you. So I have an Evil Eye. See my pretty bracelets? I have one that says Lucky, but there's my Evil Eye bracelet. Bought at a lovely little shop called Mystic Elements in Wilmington, North Carolina. So here we have some other things. So the evil eye is not the by far. Yes, ma'am.
And April says it's a header. That's yes. Thank you.
It's a header.
It's the header.
We're real grown-ups.
Yeah.
We live in houses with doors with
I used
thresholds.
to be an interior designer. I should know that, but it's been so many years. I gotta forget.
Thank you. We appreciate that
Thank you.
very much. It's like the header of a letter. The top.
Alicia, hello, Rockfather. Just see that.
So there are many other things that are protective symbols. And we're going to do another show covering all those down the road, but we wanted to touch on some of those. So in the Christian faith, across the street from my house, my neighbor, at Easter time, she put up the red ribbon that was supposed to protect everyone at Passover, if you know Christianity at all. It still sits on her door. And she told me until she feels safe again, that she's not taking it down. And that's kind of the same thing. It's the same thing.
And there's a lot of cultures that have protective symbols. I know we were looking at, we found some Celtics. And then the Egyptians, there's the Eye of Horus. And then the scarab.
Scarab beetle?
Yes. The scarab. It's symbol of protection in ancient Egypt, and they believe that, or the dung beetle. It's another thing.
Oh, on my drink.
So that was that. It's just a protective symbol at that time.
So I'm going to show you another symbol. I'm going to come up here under the camera. I'm sure you've all seen this one before. This symbol truly only means earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. Okay. So this symbol, there are stories. Now we have a broken line of knowledge between the pagan tribes of Europe after Christianity. That just means we don't have a lot of written information other than what the wonderful clerics wrote down for us. But this symbol, we were told, they believed it so much protected them that they would take wax and create a pentacle out of strands of wax. And they would sew it in their clothes so that, because they couldn't dare wear a pentacle, it was believed, so that if they were caught, they could just crush that and nobody would know what it was. So it would remain protected. So but that's all that symbol means. When you see it inverted, and I'm not saying it doesn't have other uses, it means other things, but mostly when you see it inverted, that represents someone who's really reached their second degree initiation levels. Now it also does represent other things. So, but that's what it means in Wicca and witchcraft, and at least in the way I'm talking about it tonight. So.
And another protective, this is not so much a symbol, but this protective little guy, gargoyles. You see these a lot on the tops of buildings. You think about, Notre Dame is the one that I can think of the most. But even the Biltmore in Asheville has these.
Has gargoyles?
Yes,
I love
does.
Gargoyles.
And I think they're the cutest things. And sometimes you get them and they're kind of scary looking, but this one, he's a pretty cute little guy.
So
I don't know if you can you?
So I guess what you're saying is that if you wanted to have, I could do this for you.
Yeah, because my arm doesn't reach too well.
I get what you're picking. I pick what you're laying down, Red. So if so I guess you can see it. I'm just going to turn it around so you see how cute. It has a cute little tail. But the nice thing is that this is one of those things that I think Lorraine is sharing with you, is you can put this in your house or set it somewhere that reminds you that you're being watched over. And you can always empower these things. You can write your own saying that said, serve me. I'm going to tell you a very private part of the way I do things. So I believe this is called sympathetic magic, when you empower something with thought and deed to serve you in a certain way. And I very much follow Morgaine, who has hounds, like Hecate does in different things. And I use those hounds. They're also known to ride with Hearn, who is the wild hunt. So, and I do call them hounds of hell. So, hold that back. It's not meant to be a bad thing. It's meant they are to protect me. But I have little plastic dogs that come out of a candy machine. And when I first started this, I would put them in my purse or give them to someone who needed protection, and they were all invoked. And I met someone I cared about at an event and said, "Yeah, I'm going to collect all of them." And he actually was the guy that put them in the machines. His name was Wild Bill. And he got me a card in his car of every one of those. So they sit in my windowsills, they sit on the corners of my bookshelves. They ride with me in my purse. If I'm going to travel, I promise you there's one in my bag. And they run the astral plane for me. They are empowered to be with me in my sleep if I'm in a nightmare. I never know I'm asleep. I mean, I never know I'm dreaming. So, but they're empowered in all those kind of ways, and that's sympathetic magic. That I'm watched over by this pack of spiritual beings that work with me. So let's say you're a wolf person or a crow or a raven person. You can do the same thing. You know, we have those little onyx ravens at Mystic Elements. If you're a raven person, you can certainly use those, empower them to serve you. They can sit on your desk.
Well, you can also anoint them.
Sure, you could
You can
anoint them with the
them with
oil.
with evil eye. You know, we have other types of oils, you know, magical oils and cleanse.
But that's the way you could protect yourself, you know. And the same thing is applicable, you know, whatever you put meaning in, then it has meaning. You have to, you know, part of all of this is mustering your own self to bend and shape the elements around you. So, all right, so there's that. So where you want to go now, Chicky?
See what time it is. We're 8:20.
We're moving along.
Good on time.
So let's take a moment while we're here, while you're listening. I want to remind you all that Mystic Elements has a YouTube channel. It's not as populated as we'd like it to be at the moment.
We would like to start streaming to YouTube, but in order to do that, we need to have our numbers up.
We really do.
Yeah, and we've not been giving our YouTube channel the attention that it really deserves. You were populating it quite a bit last year, and then we kind of dropped off. You know, we went to Facebook Live. Now we want to go back, and
then there was
we're still going to do the Facebook Lives, but we'd also like to do this for YouTube.
We're using a platform called Be Live. That when we do these, we could also record, but we can also share these directly to YouTube for more people to watch. So we would really like it if you would go over and give us a like on our YouTube channel.
Yep.
So, you know, Mystic Elements, North Carolina, that's us. It should look like the store maybe looked a million years ago, you know, last month. I forgot. I've just given up to what I'm going to come in and find. Have you changed things since I've been there a day ago?
I added some more cabinetry.
See what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, they just came in today.
Don't ever try to walk through there in the dark. No, you would be in trouble. So that's what we'd like. Thank you very much. We'd appreciate it if you'd go do that for us. Now to get back to the show. So I guess the next thing we're going to talk about are these lovely stones, right?
Well, we were going to be talking about psychic vampires.
Oh, that's right. Well,
yes.
I thought, you know, okay.
Well, these are two of them are for psychic vampires. And then the other ones are more protection.
So, you know, we do a stone segment, so this is tying into that. So tonight, the other part of this we want to talk about that's really important is psychic vampires. Yes. You hear about...
We all know them.
We do. And in psychology, we are not doctors. We do not hold any degrees in that manner. But in psychology, they call psychic vampires energy vampires. So it's similar. It's almost the same thing, really. Yeah. So psychic vampires have a variety of different, there's about 7 to 10, depends upon who you ask, 7 to different types of psychic vampires. But as a whole, a psychic vampire is someone who tries to manipulate you through a variety of different techniques to get you to do something you really don't want to do. And part of becoming spiritually elevated is learning to do your will responsibly, but it's very hard to live in your truth. So a psychic vampire will try to manipulate you to, you know, maybe get you to take care of them or to do something for them you wouldn't want to do, somehow doing things that serves them but not you.
So very similar to gaslighting too.
It is a lot of that. Yeah. Quite often, because of course before the show we read up a lot about on this, and one of the things I was surprised is how many articles said that most people who are psychic vampires are narcissists or have narcissistic tendencies. So I want to take a
or
minute.
borderline personality.
That kind of, yes, that's true. It
So,
comes within all.
Not all of them are, but then you get the people who don't even realize that they're
Mhm.
a psychic vampire,
And well, yeah,
and it's not like an
It's true.
intentional thing. It's just they are so much into their own selves and their own ego
Mhm.
that they don't know.
They don't recognize their place in
Yeah.
the story. And so what we also have is a lot of times these are people who are emotionally stunted, right? They have, you know, a lot of people never take responsibility for their emotional or personal growth. Part of that is spirituality, coming into terms of
Thank you,
growing,
Tina. She
growing your
subscribed to
soul.
our YouTube page.
Thank you, Tina King. I love you. You guys better save me a bowl of stone soup. We have a whole thing. So I'm sure you all are thinking, well, let's see, who do I know? So a psychic vampire is maybe someone who always steals your time. They want to call you. Maybe you told them you were sharing something about
Mhm.
yourself, and they change the subject immediately and kind of hijack your conversation and then completely steer it away from you.
The biggest way to recognize it is, how are you feeling after spending a short amount of time with
True.
that person? If you feel completely drained, more than likely they're a psychic vampire.
And that means that by spending time with you, that you are giving out energy that you don't, you're being robbed of energy.
Mhm.
Energy is being stolen from you, whether you recognize it or not. And that comes across in all ways. We have partners that way, we have parents who are this way, you know, in all walks of life.
Customers have sometimes done that.
Mhm.
You know, if you're in retail, especially, that could be a really difficult one.
True.
Yeah.
And sometimes psychic vampires show up in a way that they teach you that if you are upfront with them about their behaviors with you or taking advantage of you, then they'll be mad at you. And if they're mad at you, then it's going to be uncomfortable. So you just learn to always give in and never make trouble. And you have to not do that. It's the best for yourself. So we highly recommend, there's a lot of information out there, that you do some research and kind of understand that. And then maybe look at your own place. You know, growing spiritually means accepting the places that we need to grow. You know, we all have that. Every year, every turn of the wheel, we have an opportunity to come back to that and to learn again. Each year is full of the opportunity for lessons. So, but while I have you here, I want to talk about too that I don't want you to be confused about vampires, okay? There is a whole, you know, as you know, there's people call themselves vampires all over the country. I happen to know these people. Father Sebastian, who runs the largest vampire group, I guess, in the world now. He does all the endless night vampire balls across the world. I know him, and I understand. I've been to some of their big events and things, and how that works for them is, of course, they're not vampires that are drawing blood. They like to play like that. They love that energy, but when they're energetic vampires, but different, they are, it's more hedonistic, it's more sensual, it's more being around each other and having a good time and feeding off that energy. You know, you've been out where you're out having a good time and it just, everything's suiting right, you feel pretty, you look good, you're in the right place at the right time, and your energy's bubbling.
Yeah.
And it sometimes that's sensuous.
Well, and that's that group collective, you know, sharing that energy. So you're feeding off of that whole energy and not just individual people.
That's right. So that's how vampirism, that is meant to be more metaphorical. There is an exchange of energy, and it is generally lent to be sensuous because, you know, vampires. And that's how that works. That's a completely different beast than the psychic vampirism, where people utilize different psychological techniques to control and to get people to do whatever it is they want.
Mhm. So we do have 2 stones that help with that. And I can't believe this. I lose my glasses everywhere. So we have 2 stones, and Oh, this is not going to work because I've got
They're
one
broken.
glass. I've got one glass. I can't see.
Look at this. Jesus, how's that going to work? You want me to read these for you?
Yeah.
Why don't you talk about them and I'll read. Oh, you can't even.
I can't see.
Let me talk about them. Hold them up.
So these
You be
are
the pretty girl.
rubies. Rubies are wonderful. They're also they're found in North Carolina of all places too.
And they're also a stone of prosperity. It amplifies your energy and stimulates your concentration. It's a shielding stone. So see, that's important. It shields you from psychic attacks. So this would be another, this would be another good stone to keep on you if you're going to see someone that day, if you're going to have someone come in your office. This is a good stone to have near you to hold on to. How hard is this? Do we know if it's like, can we put it in water and make a spray with it?
Ruby?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
ruby's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's I don't know what the hardness of it, but it does not fall apart in water.
Ladies, listen to this. Well, men too. Like men don't care. Ladies, it stimulates love and brings spiritual wisdom and wealth. It brings lucidity to dreams. It encourages you to follow your bliss and promotes creativity. Wow. Oh, this is really nice. So you can meet physically, it's also aids in the treatment of fevers, heart disorder, and the blood. So I guess if you have anemia or things like that, carrying this stone would help change the vibration in your blood.
Yeah, it's an energetic thing. So
they're very pretty.
Yeah, these are gorgeous pieces of ruby.
So when you talk about your house, like a lot of people ask me, well, how do I grid my home? You could put these in the windows near your front door and your back door. There's a lot of places you could put these. You could just get creative with it. You can make grids with it.
Yeah, you can create a grid with it. It's just like the crystal grids. You can we have those little boards, and then just create the grids with that. You just make up your own design. You can actually grid your house, and make the borders of your house, and that creates that protective surrounding it.
The barrier.
Yeah, protective barrier surrounding it. With the ruby, and wearing it is definitely a great one.
It's very pretty.
Keep it in your pocket. Keep it in your bra.
These are great. These are connected to your root chakra, and your root chakra helps ground you. So if you're especially nervous about this encounter, carrying this with you will help kind of stabilize your energy. So we have another stone that Lorraine pulled out here that's supposed to be
green aventurine. And that is a heart chakra stone.
Yeah, it says that it's an excellent protector of
again. Did we have a typo there?
It says again. It's an excellent protector against energy vampires, used to connect with our spirits guides. It's also a real good balancer. I'm just reading it for you because you don't have your glasses on. Balances male and female energy. It has it works with your mind, emotion, body, spirit, kind of pulling that all together in a real harmonious nature. So it's really beautiful. It is one of these. I don't know if I can help you in here.
Let me swap. There we go.
Can they hear us?
Yeah, I had to swap the.
Can they still hear us?
I swapped the mics.
And see how pointy it is? If all else doesn't work, you got a pointy thing. But anyway, aventurine is. Oh my God. It is a pointy thing.
It's a weapon also.
Well, we have to be creative. I'm just saying. It's so it also helps you if you are trying to get through something. It's something that really activates and promotes your heart chakra and gives you the motivation to do these things. It is a beautiful stone that one of the ways I love seeing this is in the bracelets. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
They're really, it's just lovely. It comes and you see different colors all the time.
Yep.
All right.
The other one we have, Maven has been so excited about this.
Yes, I recently on Mystic. Mystic Elements also has an Instagram page. And so
Run by
Michael Anico.
Michael is the one, he's been taking all the photographs, he's been typing everything.
They're beautiful. These popped up, and I love the blue stones. I've become quite a blue girl. But these stones are just such a nice sheen. And these stones are for your root chakra. Did we say with the aventurines, your heart chakra?
Yes, heart chakra.
Of course, it's green. But the sapphires work for your third eye and your throat chakra. So there's stones of new love. So if you get in a new relationship, I guess there's a good stone for you. For commitment and fidelity. Those ought to come with your marriage vows.
Well, I know sapphire used to be really popular for wedding rings.
It really did.
Before the whole diamond. It was always rubies and sapphires before diamonds.
It's also associated with clairvoyance, clairaudience, and prophecy. So this is also another good stone. If you're working in any way whatsoever as a practitioner in these kind of fields, this is a good stone for working on your table and your tarot bag and things like that. It naturally increases all of your physical and spiritual abilities. So what that tells me is this stone is raising your vibration, and it gets you more in line with being psychic and those workings. It's associated with purity of thought. You like that sort of thing? It encourages resolution in conflict. So if you are, I honestly believe that we are all responsible for conflict resolution and have to hold a part of that. And if this can help, everybody's going to get one. I'm sure everybody has one. It's considered a spiritual healer. It is used in Reiki and angelic healing, and it amplifies spiritual healing through sacred music. So if I love frequencies, so this tells me that if you listen to frequencies and music, so imagine all the ways you could use this. I mean, I think that you could set it on your stereo. You could, and so it's just a beautiful, I love sapphire. This is not used as a physical healing stone, though, it says, which that's interesting. If we mention, so we didn't mention that aventurine and it's physical. It helps with lungs, heart, and adrenal glands, and muscular and urological systems. Is that what? No, urogenital systems. We don't want to go there. We look it up at Mystic. There's books.
Well, that makes sense because that's all of those things are in the heart center.
Yes, it does.
So and it's a heart chakra. So anything in that heart center, it tends to work with.
Yeah, I was just afraid that I'd make a joke. So we're just coming out of there. So you want to go on to this lovely piece of shungite that you looked up what you call this shape for?
Merkaba.
A Merkaba.
Or Merkaba. Depends on who you, I've got a show it in stream. I'm going to do that.
Look how fancy we are, people. Look how fancy we are.
This is fun.
Does this naturally occur or is it cut this way?
It's
cut that way?
I don't believe this shape is natural in anything.
Right, so this is shungite. This is another big protecting stone from a lot of things.
Why don't we set it right here?
There we go.
That way that can be seen. And
he can be babysitting all these lovely things. So shungite is for all chakras. Now you've probably heard of shungite in relations to keeping radiation and radio EMF and stuff away from you. It is believed, and they have proof that it really does help block a lot of the energies and things that we get into all day long with Wi-Fi and computers.
I have my big piece.
Oh,
I have.
Look here, let me move this candle so you can show that little. It might get its own radio signal. It's so big,
huge
pyramid. Look at that chunk. And so there's a lot of belief that these two different shapes.
I can't. I know I've got long arms, but
it's also heavy. Come on, now.
It is very heavy.
Two redheads. Anything can happen. So this really helps protect you from those fields. So it also helps you with home relocation, which if you are looking for a new home, this is a stone that can help guide you to the right place. It's used in body and water purification. I don't know how that works. Rescue from
I
environmental.
believe it's similar to charcoal.
But you don't like put it in water.
Do you remember that, Michael? Shungite. It's used in water purification. I think it's similar to.
Like going through a charcoal filter, maybe?
We are not scientists. We are not doctors.
Not
We
like that.
cannot recommend
We work at a stone
any
shop.
type of treatment.
That's right. I'm just playing. So, it's rescue from environmental disaster, protection, and recovery from EMF radiation. I know a lot of people who have these sitting at their desk because they believe it, and it makes for a better work environment with all the EMF things.
Yes.
So, if you have a cell phone, a lot of times you see people will set their cell phone by one of these, and it's just thought
And
that
sometimes you can find, getting hard to find is those little plates that you can stick to the back of your phone. And they were out for a while. There's some, I've only found them in one place, and prices are just have gone up quite a bit.
They have, because they're believed so much. It's sort of like silicone and different crystal. You know, they use crystal in all kinds of ways, knowing that its properties work. And so, like that, shungite has a lot of properties that are really good. So, physically, it is said to aid in new cell growth, mobility. I need to strap a couple of those onto my hips. Mobility disorders, toxins, and the chills. So, I think we've told you before, we've done a lot of different things to see about the properties of this, and we're always surprised by how exciting that is.
Yep. And Michael did verify it is used in water purification.
Oh, see, very nice. So there, you know, Mother Earth has made a lot of beautiful things to look at.
We don't know that process. That is something, if you're interested in, I do highly suggest doing your research.
But it's nice to have a piece of shungite at your desk or in a pocket if you're using your phone or always on a computer, to just have that little extra bit of protection. So there's another source of protection.
So Renee, talked about the Merkaba or Merkaba, the geometrically perfect at all angles. And yes, it is. It's got all of these pyramids. They're kind of all together, and it's
well, and like this pyramid,
it's part of the sacred geometry.
It is, and it helps amplify. It actually helps focus energy. The pyramid works, like back in the 70s, people were in pyramids all the time and using crystal pyramids. And that's sort of what we know, is that pyramid pulls and directs energy.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about stone shapes too.
We will
next time. So we'll do another
that.
show that goes into more detail about all the different shapes, because there's a lot.
What does Kim say? It can filter water. It can. We just don't, we're not saying like throw it in a glass of water. We don't know. Maybe you can, but we don't know. We don't want to give you that.
We're not going to recommend that. Just do your research.
And hi, people. Just want to say hi to folks. Hi, Renee. I see you in there.
Hi, Jonathan. Hi, Kimberly.
I can't read those
Kirby.
as well as I'd like to say I can.
I know. I gotta make the screen bigger next time. I'll do that next time.
Someone taught me how you did that one time. Okay. My computer. So the next stone we have, what do you have over there?
So
Lorraine?
I have mahogany obsidian, and it's a mahogany obsidian arrowhead. Here, would you hand me the shungite? We're trying different camera views, see what works. So if we could just bear with us, and we'll. Oh, I know. So we don't have that great of light over here. Let's see.
We're going to use our blessing candle in two ways.
Yes.
It's going to bring light to the situation.
So you can see mahogany obsidian and black obsidian. And both of those are protective too. Mahogany obsidian is your great weather protector, especially
in the big stuff.
Yeah, I have a Mac, so I do know how to do that, but I forgot to do that tonight. Plus, part of our video screen takes up a little bit, so I'll get that fixed next time.
And you
Um,
know the God's, just to take the piss out of us, is not going to let us have a night where we don't have a challenge, because we might take
well,
over the
we're
world.
doing better. We
We are
only
doing
ran out of
better.
sound just because I didn't have the setting correct, and then I had both mics on at the same time.
And we came on
And
like at 8:01, so we did that too.
yeah, so
We did a lot of
we're
stuff.
actually doing way better than we've done in the past.
We're doing
So we're
great.
finally episode 4. It's about time. So anyway, oh, that looks pretty, doesn't it? Yeah. So mahogany obsidian is great for protection, especially bad weather, hurricanes in particular. So if you're on the coast of any coast, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, all that, Texas,
Anywhere
it
where
is
there's big
a great.
storms.
So what I like to do with it is grid my entire property. So um, I currently only have my house gridded. So I actually went out about 5 feet from the 4 corners of my house, and then I stuck a piece down into the ground.
And I did the same
You did
thing,
the same?
and I did it that way so that it would encompass all the overhanging of the roof.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What I want to do next time is actually do the property lines,
I have done
because
that.
I lost a whole bunch of trees a couple of years ago with Florence. I did have a tree land on my house, and it was a fairly large tree, but it didn't come through the house. It didn't even damage the roof, which was pretty incredible the way that it landed. It should have, as big as it was.
Was that the morning I called you and I said there's a tornado?
No, that was Dorian.
Okay.
The next year, had another tree fall on my house, but that was a tornado. Tornado was right above the house, came, took my neighbor's tree,
You threw
it on my house. Again, my house did not break the
it.
roof.
Survived and did well. So that is something
Yeah.
we've noticed. So like she said, you can also put it out at the 4 corners. That
Mhm.
gives you another layer of protection, protecting all of your property.
And you could do this with any protective stones too. I happen to do mahogany obsidian because we are on the coastline.
Yes.
So you
it's
could
especially
do,
good for her.
Black tourmaline is great for gridding your property lines. You could put some rose quartz there. Whatever it is, the intention that you're wanting to keep within that zone, it's either protective or the energy you want inside. I would grid it with whatever stone you choose.
Well, and let's talk about that. So selenite would probably work the same way, but I would keep selenite in your house.
It will deteriorate outside.
It will. So selenite is a salt-based stone, like Himalayan salt. Like you can buy Himalayan lamps and things and salt lamps. But when you protect your house, quite often, it's an old tradition of pouring salt over your threshold, along a line along your threshold without breaking, and your back door to wherever your secondary doors are, and that protects your house. Well, the same thing applies to selenite.
And you can get like a really thin stick and then just put it on the header.
Yes, you could. On the header of your door.
Yes.
And you know what? You could do that and put salt on the threshold. That would be a double whammy.
Absolutely.
So protecting yourself that's a wonderful thing. So I honestly believe that when you protect your house that way, that what it does is it gives it a layer of it's not invisible, it's invincible. It gives it a sense of invisibility to me, that it makes it less attractive to harmful things.
Right.
But it makes it invincible, and in a way you're adding layers and layers of protection.
Yes. It's an energetic thing.
So in a lot of houses you go to, in the windowsills, and I recommend this a lot if you're having kids or having poltergeisty type things, or you're having a lot of bangs and knocks in your house, a small wand of selenite or a polished selenite stone, and a piece of tourmaline in at least one window facing every direction is a nice way to grid inside your house. It's a good protection.
So then the other piece is the black obsidian. What I love about these are blades. This is also known as dragonstone.
Really?
To kill the White Walkers.
Really?
If you are a Game of Thrones fan.
You could look
that
at this.
Is considered dragon glass.
You could put that on the end of it. You could wrap that around a
Absolutely.
staff.
Yeah, we have small. Yeah, that would be wonderful. I mean, and these are sharp.
They are sharp.
Obsidian is very, very
It'll
sharp.
cut you.
They have these kind of chips, so it's not quite so sharp, but have this
Very much like an arrowhead,
like
they're-
this piece back here. This is black obsidian also, and it has some very, very sharp edges. We have been cut several times.
Mhm.
You're moving it around. So
That's hitting home like I know.
no, Michael's been cut several times.
Poor Michael.
You'd think he'd know better, but he keeps doing it.
You're torturing him tonight on purpose.
Well, he deserves it. Came in and
just the
and,
store boy,
yeah, he's just the store boy.
just the rock father. So where are we at? Where are we at on time?
8:52.
Look at us. We've done a pretty good job.
We covered everything we talked about.
We did.
We covered everything we planned to talk about.
We did. And then some. Probably more than you needed.
Okay.
So again, remember, we are open to hearing what kind of things you'd like us to talk about. We are going to be, as we go, we're going to be doing a few more product reviews, of course, in the store. And if there's something of specific interest to you that you'd like to know about, please share with us.
Absolutely.
And
we got the request for the churros, so we did an episode on that. And
of course, I wasn't here, unfortunately.
I don't know.
It's okay. I had a sister in town. That doesn't happen often.
Yeah, that was a good replacement.
Deb is good at most anything she does. So, hey, Deb, how you doing? And watch and listen to Deb on Psychic Teachers.
Yes, if you want to hear. And Quest for Connection. Deb and Friends Quest for Connection. She's got 2 podcasts that she's on.
That's so. Don't miss Deb. She's great.
And she's got 3 Facebook pages.
Hey, Jazz King. I see you out
One
there.
of them was Witches of the Shore. So definitely go follow her there.
Go follow those things. Those are lots of fun. And you can always find me at Maven's Magical Life. I have a thing too. I have some skills. And if you'd like to know something very protective, I'm making Lucky Water again, and it's back in the store.
Where is it?
I don't know. Maybe Michael took it.
It's Michael's fault.
It's Michael's fault. Well, blame it on Walter. It's Walter's fault. Baby Bird got it. No, it's at the store. We have it back in. We've had a whole new retooled bottle and label, and
so we need to photograph it and get it online.
I could pull it up on my phone, but I just want to let you know that's also protective. Yeah. There's lots of things that's on the earth that we have found that have energetic properties that are protected, and roses are protected. So that's just another thing. Rose, the simple act of making rose water and stuff. Lots of ways you can protect yourself, and a lot of it's body, mind, and spirit. To believe I am protected is to know I'm protected.
The thorns too. The rose are to me that's the most protective, because you put that barrier on. You can save the sticks.
That's true. You could put that. You could make your own rose water witch's jar with the thorns. This is neat. Yeah. Now you know how this brain works over here, guys.
And there's other things. What else do we have? There's vines that you could use to have the thorns. You could do something with that to put up a protective barrier energetically. There's lots of things. There's lots of ways. Use what you've got. Oh, Melissa, Lucky Water. Yes, Maven has made products. She calls New Orleans Lucky Water.
New Orleans Lucky Water is a product that is similar. It's along the same properties as Florida Water. Florida means floral. It means flower. And people believe that putting these different flowers together and making a eau de joie toilette, because it's also a spray, and that Florida Water is used in mop buckets to mop your floors to bring protective energy. It resets your luck and things. Well, Lucky Water was made with more of a New Orleans state of mind and ideology. And Lucky Water has stones in it. It's meant the same way like you would use Florida Water. It also has a lot of romance draw to it. So just saying, it's lucky. but it's very protective.
You've got a lot of different herbs in there.
I do several herbs.
You do, and you
It's made on
you
the
have
full
a very
moon.
specific way that you make it.
I do. I gather my own water.
Yep.
I go to the ocean and get water. It has a long list of ingredients. And Lucky Water is meant, I don't know why I didn't think to bring a bottle for this show, but or to get one from the store. I'm working on this. But Lucky Water is meant, you can wear it, and it does a lot like the Evil Eye does, or the oil does, is it breaks the status of an energy around you. So
you can spray it on yourself.
You can spray it on your money. It draws money. It has that's why it's Lucky Water. I always wear a bracelet that says Lucky. It is dedicated to the goddess Fortuna, who is also known as Lady Luck. So it has all these layers of properties about it: how it's made, how it sits, how it's the whole nine. It's very nice. So it has a new label made by Trish. I think I might have said that. It's very lovely.
So maybe we can get Michael to do some photographs this weekend.
Oh, there we are.
And then it will be available online. So definitely look out for that.
Had a few customers wrote me during the pandemic, just all caps, as big as they could make it in emails. Lucky Water. Like, okay, I'm working on that. So now that things are returning, now that we're farther into the year, I've made Lucky Water again. Say they're returning to normal.
No, we're never going to return to normal. I don't want to go backwards. I don't want to go back to where we were.
But we do
we need to move forward in a better way.
But the reason we do these shows is to help. The real reason these shows were born, out past the original tarot show that Tara and I used to do, is that these were an idea of Lorraine's that we could be of comfort and come to you in your home when you're isolated, that we can come to you and maybe talk to you about things you're interested in, and the world of metaphysics. So, and I want to tell you, we're in Mabon now, so blessed Mabon. Mabon runs up to Samhain, which is Halloween, as you may know it. It's October 31st and a full moon this year. So over this time, we discuss our harvest and our blessings, and just take some time to make sure you have some peace in your life, and that you are being kind to your body. You can only take so much stress. I learned that this year myself physically. You can only be so stressed out for a good job. So anything else? You got anything exciting coming on? Got any, anything exciting? Dancers, Okay, I know. We're going to be redoing the front porch of Mystic Elements to be very lovely. And
that's your Maddie's project.
That's mine and Maddie's project. You might know Maddie. She's precious. She's at Mystic. We are going to involve the community and start doing some painting and some giving it this whimsical, magical feel.
Yeah, so freshen it up. So we do have the chairs out there. So anybody that comes and wants to hang out, and, it just make it even more inviting
so if you're local, you might have an opportunity to share that. And for all of you who stop in from out of state, I've had people drive all the way to Mystic Elements just to walk and say hello from watching the shows. And I just want to tell you how wonderful that is to know it means that much to you. So
it does. It means a lot.
Well, girl, so I guess it's almost time to get out of here.
Yep, I guess so. So
take us back out.
Okay. Oh yeah. Nice. Okay. So thank you everybody for watching us tonight, and we hope to see you next week. Next week we have Max and Megan, the Mystic Misfits
on Monday night
at 7:30. They're always a blast to watch. They always do something different. They try to get guests on and just really have a completely different perspective, and it's interesting and fun.
It might be that they're 20 years younger than us too. We're not saying that for sure, not for sure, but it might be.
And they're basically twins.
They're very funny. It's a lot of fun.
Yes.
And then us again on Thursday night. And we have a lot of stuff that's going on in our world, and we're creating new
yeah, we've got a lot going on, and we're looking forward to sharing up all the new changes coming up.
and again, don't forget to tell us what you'd like to see, what you'd like to know.
Absolutely.
We're covering all things metaphysical.
Yep.
So, all right, girl. And we may be doing some lives like this from surprising locations in the future. So.
Yes, we won't announce that until that's a definite plan, but we do hope to do that.
So
Soon.
lots of fun.
And we'll see you all next week.
Blessings upon you.
Good night.